Hi guys, so today I'm back for a long overdue update and today I'm going to be talking all about baby number 3, and it is so weird to be actually saying it, and just it's still very surreal to me. So I've got everything kind of around me to sort of catch everyone up with what's been going on. I will say obviously this time around for baby number 3 I will not be making weekly updates. I can't commit to it, and I just don't think that much changes from week to week. Obviously if it does, then I will let you guys all know, and I do intend to film the birth. So I will just quickly run through what has been happening since the time I found out up until now. Today I am 15 weeks and I think 3 days. My weeks turn over on a Friday, so I should be 15 plus 3, and this coming Saturday at 16 weeks and 1 day I'll be finding out the gender, which we are so excited about. So I'll go back to when we first found out. I have everything written down because like I said, we had suffered 2 miscarriages before we got pregnant with this baby, and we found out we were pregnant literally straight after a miscarriage, so I didn't have any cycles in between the second miscarriage and falling pregnant with this baby. And the first time I got a positive, and that was on a first response early result, that was on the 30th of July, and I was 5 days past ovulation, so it was incredibly early, but there was a very faint line. And then I got the digital, clear blue digital, which said pregnant 1 to 2 weeks on the 6th of August. That then changed to pregnant 2 to 3 weeks on the 10th of August, and then pregnant 3+ weeks on the 15th of August. I had been going in to the early pregnancy unit because of our history. We had been going in for beta HCG and progesterone levels, because one of the reasons why we were having miscarriages is because the HCG was rising but it was not doubling, which is what it should be doing in a normal healthy pregnancy. So on the Thursday the 11th we went on, so this is obviously August, we had the first blood draw, and that was a result of 497 for the HCG and a progesterone level of 76.8, which I think they said anything over 20, I think they said, was really good. So the progesterone level and the HCG level was fantastic. Excuse me. We then went back in on the 13th, Saturday the 13th, and the results were 1,293. They should have been around 994, but they had actually risen an additional 299. So from those results I did get a call from the hospital, and they were a bit concerned because the levels should sort of double and maybe double a little bit more, but not, you know, go over by that much. So they did want me to come in on the Monday the 15th, which is when I had a scan done, as well as obviously the blood draw. Just to rule out an ectopic pregnancy, because there was that risk of an ectopic pregnancy within the last 2 miscarriages. And on Monday the levels were 3,013, and they should have been around 2,586, so they'd actually risen an additional 427. I had the scan, and I will try and sort of show you. But yeah, this was the scan. So this was obviously the baby and the yolk sac and all of that jazz. And we did see the heartbeat at this scan, and we were dated at 6 weeks and 1 day at that scan. And the crown to rump length was 5.7 millimeters. So everything was obviously, we were told everything was fine at that stage, and obviously wait to have the 12-week scan. In between that time, I have been really sick. I'm not just saying it, you know, because, you know, everyone feels terrible, or majority of people feel terrible in their first trimester, but I suffer from hyperemesis, and I have had it really bad. I was so lucky and didn't have it with Oliver. So I thought naively, oh, you know, I might not get it this time round, but lo and behold, it did. And it started around 5.5 weeks, and it peaked around between 5.5 to 10 weeks. It was just absolutely ridiculous. I've been hospitalised 4 times now. And I've needed, at the worst sort of times, I've always been admitted and I've always had to stay in overnight. I've always had about 4 or 5 bags of fluid, which is, it's a litre of fluid per bag. I've always had 4+ ketones in my urine, extreme headaches, and the nausea and vomiting has been excessive. It's been in sort of like, you know, like sort of 20+ times a day. So it's been really bad. It's actually made me feel really down about the pregnancy, and thinking, you know, oh my gosh, like, why am I doing this? Luckily, we've managed to get through it. Matt has been incredible, and he's helped me, and he's helped me with the school runs, as has my other family members, my mum especially. And luckily we've managed to get through it. I am on a concoction of different anti-sickness or anti-emetic tablets. I'm currently on ondansetron, cyclizine, stemetil, and then I've got ranitidine, and I also want a laxative because the tablets completely bung me up. And yes, so it's not been fun at all. I do not enjoy being pregnant. I can very openly say I do not enjoy being pregnant. The only good things about being pregnant is the movement and listening to the heartbeat and the scans. But apart from that, I don't enjoy being pregnant. Next, obviously, is my skin. You can see I've put a basic cover up on, but my skin, like all around here, my chin, all around here, I have been inundated with spots this time. I don't wear makeup on a general day-to-day basis, but the spots have been just ridiculous. Apart from that, so we are up to week 15 now. At my 12-week scan, so I thought I was going to be exactly 12 weeks at my scan, but it was actually, when we attended the scan, the baby was measuring 6 days ahead, so the due date has now changed from the 20th of April to the 14th of April. So here is the, here I'll try and fold back the information. So here is the baby at 12 plus 6 days, and again here. So yeah, I have put the scans on like those gender prediction sites, and literally everyone bar maybe a couple have all said girl. Like I said, we find out on this coming Saturday, so I'm in 2 minds. I think it's going to be another boy, only purely based off I have 2 boys already, and I feel like I only make boys, I don't do girls. And I can't really base it off, you know, I've been more sick this time, etc., because, you know, hyperemesis doesn't affect specific genders. So I think it's a boy, but Matt, a lot of my family and, you know, strangers that have guessed on the pictures, they've all guessed girl. So if you want to leave your guesses as to what this baby will be, then please leave them in the comments, and it's quite interesting to see, and obviously I'll let everyone know once we find out. We had the Down syndrome trisomy 18 and trisomy 13 screening. The risk of Down syndrome was 1 in 15,000, and then the risk for trisomy 13 and 18 was less than 1 in 50,000. So that came back as a low, you know, low risk result. So that was good. I have been taking, obviously, before I started getting really sick, I've been taking the pregnancy vitamins. excuse me. Yeah, so I have been taking the pregnancy vitamins along with my other things. Like I have hypothyroidism, so I will be seeing a consultant on the 8th of November. My next midwife appointment is the 4th of November. I've also purchased, and I would highly recommend getting one if you are pregnant, because I used to have the Angel Sounds fetal heart Doppler, but I invested a little bit more money and I've got the Sonoline B. It looks like, comes in a box like this, and it looks like this, and it comes with gel as well, and this obviously reads, it tells you the heart rate, and I think that this is a much better quality fetal Doppler. I picked up the baby's heartbeat very early on. I must have been around 9 to 10 weeks when I picked up the heartbeat. I think that's it, sort of. I've got, like I said, I've got my notes now. I am considered high risk for this pregnancy. I have got a high BMI. I'm going to be completely obviously open and honest about this. I always have been in my pregnancies. I am considered obese, and I have a high BMI, so that has put me in a high risk factor. I also have my hypothyroidism. I got induced with Oliver due to obstetric cholestasis, and I have hyperemesis as well. So all those factors are all, you know, amazing, and they put me in a high risk position. So once I see the consultant on the 8th of November, I'll find out whether I still need to be seen through consultant care or whether they'll transfer me back to midwifery care. I am intending to again have another hospital birth. I will obviously have one of my sisters as a birthing partner. I'll probably end up having my sister Emily, who also vlogs at the P Chicks and Us, if you haven't checked her out. Yeah, so I'll probably have her as my birthing partner if for any reason she can't. I will obviously be having Laura, who was my birthing partner with both the boys. We have told the boys, and they are absolutely thrilled and over the moon. Freddie has specifically requested a sister, and it's not allowed to be anything other than a sister. In his words, I already have a brother, mummy, so I don't need one. But I know they'll be happy regardless. And Oliver knows, obviously Freddie's currently 5. He turned 5 in July, and Oliver is 2.5. He'll be 3 in January. So there will be a 3-year, 3-month age difference between Oliver and this new baby. And the gap between Freddie and Oliver was 2 years, 5 months. So I'm much more at ease knowing that there's going to be a little bit more of a gap between this baby and Oliver. Oliver will be starting nursery by that stage, so we will have Oliver out of nappies during the day, and it'll be a lot more easier and less stress on myself. So I think basically that's everything I need to update you on. Symptoms wise, it's just really the headaches. The headaches have been quite bad, and the constipation, the extremely bad skin. I have zero appetite, and when I do eat, obviously from the sickness, it just feels like I have a foreign body in my stomach, and my body does not like me. Eating and drinking is a struggle, but hey ho, it's the joys of being pregnant. And yeah, so April is the due date, 14th of April, and I'm really happy with that due date. It means that I will have a January baby, an April baby, and a July baby, so there will be 3 months between each child, which I'm really happy about. And I am pretty certain, basically 100%, probably, well, I should say 99% certain that this is going to be my last baby. My body does not like being pregnant, and especially with having the miscarriages as well, I just feel like my body is trying to tell me that, you know, it's done, sort of thing. And I think 3 children as well is going to be a handful, and it's definitely going to be interesting once the baby's here. But apart from that, I think that's kind of it. I have purchased a pregnancy journal, which I do keep. I never had one of these with the boys, so I am keeping track of all of the information and appointments and everything like that. If you have any questions or comments or anything you'd like to ask me about, then please feel free to ask me. And that's about it. Like I said, I will do a update in regards to when we find out the gender. I have done the baking powder test, and the results, I'm not going to do a video because I've already done one, but the results were exactly the same as Oliver's. The baking powder fizzed up and foamed exactly like Oliver's did, so that's another reason why I feel like it's going to be a boy. And the heart rate has been between 140 to 150, so both the boys were around 140 as well, and that's about it really. I'm not going to do a belly shot this time because I'm half dressed, because the boys are actually currently still with their dad and I'm like half in my clothes, half in pyjamas. So yeah, I think that's about everything. I hope I've updated you on everything so far, and I will see you in my next video for my next update. Okay guys, bye!